The important part, no matter what it is that reminder. It is up to your intention. It is your thoughts that is fueling the quality of life. And therefore, these are always just reminders.
This is a conversation that I had at the Shaolin Temple Europe, one of my favorite conversations, where we sat down and drank tea and talked about mindfulness. And here are the 6 takeaways from that conversation with Master Shi Heng Yi that I'm really excited to share with you guys. Today's video was made possible at mulliganbrothers.com. If you use the link in the description, you can get the poster. With code STOIC, you can get 10% off at checkout as well, where you can also get the t-shirts, hoodies, and journals with the link in the description, where all the profits go back into creating this content. So I cannot thank you guys enough. Use code STOIC at checkout for 10% off the poster. But this conversation, this one where I visited the Shaolin Temple Europe and had the privilege to sit down with Master Shi Heng Yi and drink tea and talk about tea traditions, was all around mindfulness. The art of drinking tea literally is about mindfulness. It's about knowing where the tea came from, thinking about those workers who picked the tea leaves, how it was grown, the soil, the country, how it got here, how it got to our table, how we pour the tea, the rituals that we use to drink the tea. All of that links into mindfulness. And that's why this conversation, using the example of tea drinking, was such a beautiful one. And that's why we have 6 rules from that about mindfulness that we're going to dive into right now. And if you want to support Master Shi Heng Yi and what they are doing at the Shaolin Temple Europe, you can also go to shaolin.online, where you can find out more information and resources from the temple. Let's dive into the video.
It's time to really give sense, to give purpose, and to give an understanding to the things that you are encountering in this lifetime. In this talk, for example, today, we mentioned already very often mindfulness. That word is out in this world so often right now. But take your time and think about it. What does it actually refer to? How can you personally use that word in combination with what I just try to, let's say, express over here? Mindfulness is not the absence of thoughts. You are not trying to get rid of the thoughts. Mindfulness means your mind is full. Mindful, but it is full of something that you chose, you individually chose. This is my purpose, this is my intention of why I'm doing something. You do your work, put some intention behind it. You are speaking to a person, be clear about your intention. Why are you speaking to the person? You are texting something, be clear about what is your intention, why are you typing it, and stop doing stuff in this world that doesn't mean anything to you and that has no intention. Because the whole point about why do I need this intention? Because only intention mobilizes energy. And why do we need mobilized energy? Because only mobilized energy is creating something. What do I mean? If you continue doing stuff without intention, the result is going to be the same. You create nothing. Yeah, so it's like you never sent the messages because they were empty. And so this is the moment now where you practice from the moment you wake up in the morning. Don't do unnecessary things. Brushing the teeth is not unnecessary. There is a purpose behind it. There is an intention behind this. You want your teeth to be healthy. That is an intention. You drink the coffee. you would like that you wake up a little bit more and be a little bit more active. Why do you want to be a little bit more active? Because with that extra power, with that extra energy, you can work more efficiently. You can work more. You can work better. You can do more things the whole day long. And why would you want that? Because you want to help. You want to contribute to something bigger. There is a whole range of intention that each individual can put into his daily life. Yeah? I can't say what are you supposed to, what type of intention you're supposed to put in there. That is the special part. That it is not about what you do. It is about how you do the stuff. How you are writing the messages. How you are communicating with people. How you are walking through this lifetime. It doesn't matter what you do. It's the how. And this is something which is way bigger than keeping it limited to a Shaolin temple. It's just that within this temple, we have our ways. But the underlying principle is not limited at all to this organization only. It's something which belongs out there to the humans to know. It's just that special part. Why I'm so enthusiastic sometimes about this topic is that I'm so happy that it still exists in this type of knowledge inside this temple. But now, growing up in the monastery and at the same time in this Western world, I see this one is missing out there, but it belongs out. And this is why my wish was always to find this combination that maybe started in the East or is found in the East, but it needs to come back. Because in essence, it is not separated. It's just, I don't know, got blocked or got lost or whatever. But this needs to come out. One way of how you can get in touch again with the qualities that I just mentioned before is, let's just take thankfulness. It is always this type of structure, also in the teachings in general. If you don't have it, you cannot give it. That is the core essence. So first of all, that also means we need to find a way to get whatever we want to share one day, we need to get it. So, thankfulness. And the easy way is you take yourself some time, can drink some tea, you need space for yourself. You need the space because now you need to go into the space. The space, for example, of your past. And you go through the moments that come into your mind where you think you were really grateful, where you think you had this feeling of thankfulness. Somebody gave you something, you received something, you achieved something, no matter what it is. So it is something individual from your lifetime. The important part is that it must become real for you again. You try to call up again that moment where you felt this thankfulness. And in that moment where you then feel, there is the glimpse of it. Now I can slowly feel it again. That was how it felt. Now it is what we call, now you are adding intention to it. Which means you are trying to multiply this feeling inside of you. So you are immersing into this feeling of thankfulness, and it's like, first it's that small seed, it's like a small flame. And now what you do is, you nourish that flame, that it becomes bigger. Yeah, that it becomes bigger. That after some practice, you know very clearly that is thankfulness. It feels like this. Love feels like this. Compassion feels like this. And joy feels like this. And now that you have it, now that you very clearly can determine that's it, now you can project it. In the moment you realize it in yourself, in that moment you realize it in other people. And this is like that really special part why I think there is no way around than developing yourself with all the skills that you think you want to bring out in this world, or what you think is missing, is lacking in this world. Whatever you think is lacking there, we need to be the ones, first of all, to cultivate it in us. And afterwards, we can very clearly see in that area they have it already, this area needs improvement, that one doesn't have it. Living in this type of push-pull, you never get to peace. It's impossible to become peaceful like this. Why? Well, let's say there is one way. That would be you have incorporated change as 100% aspect of your life. You are adaptable no matter what. If it's there, you're okay. If it's here, it's also okay. So you are part of the change. So that means at the same time also maybe you express it as you are in the flow and in harmony with life. If something is being offered to you, you take it. If something is being taken away from you, you let it go. If this is your real attitude, without any hesitation even, then I think you can also be peaceful, despite the facts of the fluctuation. And the second way to be, let's say, or remain in peace can only be one other aspect. And that one is don't even touch in the beginning. Don't push, don't pull. If you see something that you like, of course in that moment you can enjoy it, that it's there. And you can fully immerse yourself in that moment when it is there. But just as it is leaving, you also return back to what is now real. And real is not that you wish it would still be here, because it's not. It just left you. That's why to learn to be fully present, when something is being offered, you take it. When something is moving on, you let it move on without attaching yourself to it. Yeah, and that is also really a difference between you are not cold towards the things. It's not that you are not taking full part of life. It's the opposite. That you watch into life and you realize it is like this. We will never have a world that will always be peaceful. That one does not exist. Yeah. So we have to learn and take the world as it is. But because we cannot change the circumstances, the only thing that we think is in our hands and in our mind is the way how you are learning to adjust your view and perspective in such a way that it makes it more livable for you. More livable, and also, of course, if you have the chance to contribute in any way to make the life of the people that are closely surrounded by yourself, to help them in any way, that's what I think you should do. Because of course it would be a lie to say that even if we are here in the monastery, that 24 hours you're mindful. No, normally we are not. No human is. That's why we need to have structures, we need to have some method to reconnect us again, that remind us again. Remember, mindfulness is key. Intention is key. So everywhere, hidden inside this whole complex of the monastery, we have this idea of be mindful. That's why, like behind you, you see all these different instruments of the gongs, and it's our so-called sound altar behind there. Traditionally, not from Shaolin, but meanwhile we have so many different people coming here that they are reacting differently to certain methods. Some people like the breathing meditation or the moving arts. Some people understand the message by drinking tea. And other people understand the message by following a sound. Because no sound, again, is ever the same. It's like something slowly builds up and something slowly disappears. Just like everything. And this is why there are so many different so-called meditation methods. And we used to say, okay, you don't want to do Kung Fu, you don't want to do Qigong, you don't want to do Tai Chi Chuan, you also don't like the sitting meditation. Yeah, let's try out maybe listening, using the sounds as an object for your meditation. Maybe that is something that can recalibrate you, remember yourself again. There's a different key for each door. And sometimes this is the role, let's say, of a teacher to sometimes figure out which one is the right key to open that one person. When we are having our food ceremony, so before eating, we also have like a small prayer, which actually is expressing the same that we also talked about right now over here. Meaning, from time to time, to be reminded. There is a story behind all of this. There is a story behind the food. Because intention is what fuels life. Intention fuels life. So in the moment where you are eating a type of food, there is a difference if you have some connection to the food that you're putting into you, or if you blindfolded, just do that one. Just that at the end the stomach is full and you have the feeling of fullness. I am 100% convinced that there is a different way of how your body eventually is going to process the food that you were eating with a filled intention, in comparison to the food that just like you don't even know exactly what it was. It just filled the stomach. And so that is what I mean is, you want to have quality life. And that automatically only means for me, you fill up every moment and everything that you do, you are the one who fills it up with quality. You don't wait for anything to happen to make something be out of quality. You are the one, we are the one who can fill up whatever we're doing with quality. And in this monastery, it's in the eating, it's in the drinking the tea, it's during the meditation lessons, it is during the physical training. Everywhere we try to put as much as we can that reminder inside again. Be mindful. Know what you're doing. Put intention behind it. Don't do things empty. Don't do a movement empty. If you are not in the mood to do the training, do something else you're in the mood to do. That's not what I always say, but sometimes I do that. If I can see already somebody is in the training room and his energy is not correct, his mind is not there, is useless. Yeah. Sometimes they have other things on the mind that they would maybe prefer to do, or they still have some work on the mind where they think it's important, but I cannot focus. Then I better let them do that. Because the important part, no matter what it is that reminder. It is up to your intention. It is your thoughts that is fueling the quality of life. And therefore, these are always just reminders. This monastery, we call it a community, because there are more individuals involved, but which all share in a way the same idea that, okay, before I start to change the world out there, let's just first start with this community. Then from that community, we have access to, let's say, this village, to that region, and then we can become bigger. But to be unharmonious amongst us, and then now try to, okay, let's have a goal and change the world. No, it's not gonna happen. Because you are already destroyed from the core. If we ourselves are not in harmony, if we ourselves are not in peace somehow already, how do you want to transmit something to other parties that we for ourselves don't even have it yet? Yes, exactly. That's also like, maybe I'm jumping a little bit, but this is where that saying comes from. You can only give what you have. So, not knowing how loving yourself feels, how can you then, let's say, talk to another person and say that you feel that love for another person? Not being responsible for your own health, meaning to have that feeling you are responsible for this. That whole body, this system is only running because of your responsibility, because of your care. So there is a connection that you actually have to yourself. You care about this. You feel it is your responsibility to take good care of this. If you mess up with the mind, you're gonna mess up this. So to have care for yourself, to take responsibility for yourself, what naturally arises is, you know how it feels. You know how care feels. And because now that we have it, now it's a different quality. If you now take care about someone, if you now take responsibility over something.
Thank you so much to the Shaolin Temple Europe, and of course, our good friend, Master Shi Heng Yi, for sitting down with us and going through these tea rituals and talking about mindfulness. The idea of awareness is one of the most important things for me, whether it's success, happiness, relationships, business, sports. Awareness, understanding of who we are and what is going on around us is something that is so overlooked. So many of us are walking around without an understanding of the present moment that we're in, and it's such a shame, because to me that's what living is, that's what happiness is, that's what success is. It's about being aware. So mindfulness training, these rules that we listen to today are extremely important. Today's video, to be able to fly out to the Shaolin Temple Europe and to film this video and take our film crew and take our cinema cameras all the way around the world, was made possible by you guys at www.mulliganbrothers.com. The support we've had on the website, where all the profits go back into creating this content, has been unbelievable. This last year, you guys have literally kept us afloat. We are a huge production crew here that gets to take this equipment, fly around the world and make these projects only because of this support. The poster at the moment is our bestseller, and because you guys have been doing that, we're doing 10% off with code STOIC at checkout. If you click the link in the description, mulliganbrothers.com, you can find that out there. Also, to see people wearing the Inspire Change t-shirts out in public has been amazing. I also saw somebody recently wearing the Still t-shirt in public. So I want to thank everybody who supported our mission with the Inspire Change movement, and also my son's charity. I cannot thank you guys enough. So thank you so much. We have some good things planned and I'm excited to share them with you over the next year. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us. I cannot be grateful enough for all of this. So I will see you in the next one. Peace.